This is a maddeningly complex Byzantine system of preferences and payments to what I refer to as the renewable industrial complex. And these rates, I think, are really significant because by paying, in some cases, 800% above the market rate for intermittent power, wind and solar power, what we're doing is we're creating a hidden, broad-based tax that affects the poor and working Vermonters most. Because remember, they pay the same amount per kilowatt hour as the wealthy homeowner who is able to buy one of these wind turbines for his backyard that's being subsidized with tax credits at the expense of the ratepayer. And I think it's grossly unfair. I think it's Robin Hood in reverse at its worst. But that's what, in fact, we're seeing. Hopefully, this bill will stay dead. But if it doesn't, it's something that we have to watch out. It's also something that will cost businesses, particularly our largest businesses, huge amounts of money. IBM estimates that that bill could cost them anywhere from $3 to $5 million a year by the end of its term in additional energy costs. And this is at a time in which their plants in New York cost 25% less in energy than Vermont does, and in Quebec, 50% less than Vermont does. These are the kinds of things that kill jobs. These are the kinds of things that cost ratepayers money. And for those of you who are CVS-PS ratepayers, you also see the effect on you of that $21 million of your money that the administration decides it knows better how to spend than you do. And I think that's wrong. Particularly when you add to it the notion, not only are we going to not give you back your money, we're going to take that money, we're going to invest it in renewables and energy-saving ideas and clean energy development funds and a lot of other unmeasurable schemes. And then we're going to add it to the rate base and we're going to make you pay it again. Because it's good for you. Because we know best. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the size of government. I think our state employees do a great job. I think there are some really competent people. I think there's some good people in state government. I just think there are too many of them. And I think that the burden of government affects each and every one of us, and it's one of the reasons that our tax rates are so high. I think we do need to reduce the size and scope of government. When you, in a business, you look at what you do, you look at it on the basis of how much money you have, and then you figure out what to do with it. In government, we do it just the opposite. We figure how much money we want to spend and then how much money we need to take from you to get it. I think we need to rethink that. I think we need to go back to something called zero-based budgeting and not figure what kind of an incremental increase are we going to make this next year over what we spent last year, but look at the very beginning and recognize there's some things government needs to do very, very, very well. And there may be some things when we run out of money the government needs to stop doing. That's when we talk about hard decisions. Hard decisions aren't about cutting 4%. Hard decisions are about deciding what it is that we need to do, what it is that we can't afford to do, and then of the things that we do, how to make them more efficient, how to make them more effective. And that's why this time is a critical time. It's a critical time because within the next 5 years, in excess of 20% of our state employee workforce and of our teacher workforce are going to be at retirement age. There could be no better time to reduce the size of government when we have natural attrition that's going to occur anyway. To reorganize, re-engineer, reprioritize, automate, do all of the things necessary to do what I did at Fidelity in my group, to make it smaller and more effective and do the job that Vermonters need done in the most economical fashion at a price that we can afford. That is an extremely high priority. That's the top priority in many ways of what I would hope to do if I had the honor to be elected with your help as Vermont's next governor. Thanks so much for coming today. I'd love to talk with all of you.